Yeah,
I'm sit in front of my workbench too long.
yeah, soldering really doesn't work the body that much, doesn't really get you into breathing. Well, maybe it does get you breathing heavy, but
Doesn't raise your heart rate.
Yeah, all it does is smell up the room, and my wife complains about the smell.
my wife gave up on complaining.
I took advantage of the sunshine today and got my yard mowed.
Wow, congratulations.
It was nice out there.
I found the lawnmower picks up a lot of those small limbs too.
Yeah.
It's a little noisy, but it helps clean out the underneath of the mower.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does that. Good evening, Blake.
Good evening, Lyles. How are you doing?
Good.
I see you're out in the garage.
Yeah, that's where my wife kicked me out of the house too.
Uh-huh.
But it's okay.
Is it warm out there
I
now?
like my garage. What's that?
Is it warm out there now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got heat out here, heat and air conditioning, and it's you get kicked out in the garage, you got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Well, Blake, what you need is a couple of 500 series Tektronix oscilloscopes to warm it up with all those vacuum tubes. Yeah.
I got natural gas. I'll skip those. Thanks.
Oh.
I like my little Tektronix.
Small heaters, all we got.
I've got a Tektronix 2335 out here. That's just fine.
Those are a nice little scope. Yeah.
Yep.
They don't need a fan.
Yeah, I've got two Gates power supplies here. The lights, where they got about 15, 20 tubes in them. They sure keep the room here warm. I have those power supplies on.
Yeah.
Robbie, what are the power supplies for? Transmitter receivers?
That's for my radio station behind me here. Can you see all it behind me?
Yeah.
That's
Those
my
will keep you warm.
yeah. Those supply power for my controller and my big reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They do get warm too, because each one has one of those 60-80 tubes in it.
Oh, that's warm by itself.
Yeah, that's a torch all of itself.
So when I was, I don't know, 16, I used two of those 60-80 tubes stacked up, and I made an audio amplifier that was DC to 100 kilohertz.
Oh no.
No transformer, direct coupled. Popular Electronics had a thing about Sweet 16, where they built this big speaker with 16 speakers in it that you hooked up series parallel to get back to 8 ohms. Well, I hooked them all in series so it would match these 60-80s. And it worked quite well. But when you turned it on, the loop wouldn't close, and you could see the speakers suck in and then suck out and then finally relax and start working right.
Now the 6080 is a dual triode, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So if you put them in the dual triodes in parallel, you got about 125 ohms plate resistance. So that drove those 16 speakers in series just fine.
Yeah.
But stacking them up and trying to get the biasing on those correct I played with that a long time.
Yeah, that biasing is kind of tricky sometimes, trying to get it just right.
Yeah. So did we have agenda for today?
Nope, not really. It's all open. Anybody want to share?
I didn't have anything planned.
What can we have for our meeting radios to start with an N? National is one brand I can think of. I'm not too sure. What's another one?
National Union.
How common are those?
Not very.
That's what I thought.
The one that I had was a All-American 5.
I'll probably bring a national shortwave receiver of some kind.
And I've got a Nordmenda.
Ooh, a Nordmende. Yeah. I had one, but I gave it back to the customer.
Hmm.
Now it's a Saba. I got
I
one
have a
spot on.
I have a
One
Grundy.
spot on the bench with a whole row of German radios ready to come up.
So does this Saba?
Oh, I have a Nora.
Oh, a Nora.
I have a Nora, a 1938 Nora, and I just completed about 8 months of locating the 5 tubes for it. It's a German radio in the pre-People's Radio era.
Hmm.
None.
So in your Saba, Blake, what's the output to?
Looking from here, looks like a pair of EL84s.
Oh, okay. I ran into a weird one where it had a triode and a pentode in the same bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, nothing was available here, so I had to order it from, I think it came from the Netherlands. The guy bought this large stereo and it had no tubes in it. So I had to order a bunch of the tubes because a lot of them were not available here in the States.
Yeah, see, that was my problem with the Nora, is not only were they not available in the States, they weren't available in Europe either.
Oh,
Those are the ones last Wednesday I showed you the picture of that had the real strange bass.
yeah. Okay. I'll be darned. Yeah, this wasn't that old. Yeah.
Hmm.
God, what was the number? Like an ECC 800 or something. Anyway, I'd have to dig up this information again.
Yeah, well, we're not used to having those tubes around. It's not exactly a 35 wide. Can't even talk tonight.
So another one that I had, it was a tabletop with multiple speakers, left and right and center. And basically it had single-ended transformers going out to the side speakers, but it was in series with a push-pull transformer for the center speaker. And so one channel went straight through to the left, say. The other channel got inverted and sent to the right channel, and the speaker wire got reversed,
Oh, how
which
interesting.
gave you push-pull for the center channel. And then the center, the side speakers, no, the push-pull transformer had caps across it to force the high frequency to the side.
Okay. Wow.
So you got push-pull power for the bass where you need it, and single-ended to the two sides.
The two sides. Wow. That'd be an interesting one to work on. You know, another oddball that I have is I have an Olson radio company. And you remember Olson Radio, they were around for years. And it looks like a miniature European radio.
Oh,
But the radio itself had Italian tubes on it and was made in Italy. So apparently Olson Radio in the early 60s bought jobber radios from some firm in Italy and put their own name on it.
I'll be darned.
It had 7 bands on it, every band a different color. And the typical setup with the piano keys in the center and the big knobs, concentric knobs on the outside. But
I'll be
that
darned.
was an interesting step.
The big problem with those German radios is they hide parts under piles of stuff that you can't get at.
Oh yeah,
Man,
you take the bottom off of them and they look like spaghetti
yeah.
with warts in them.
Mhm.
You build it right the first time, so you're not supposed to ever have to repair it.
That's
Right.
right.
Hey guys, I was working on a radio and with a bunch of other stuff, and unfortunately, I dropped the dial glass out and broke it. And I was wondering if you guys had any parts or know of anyone who would have a part for an RCA 86T. I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see. Let me reverse this. So I was working on it and this fell out. I forgot I unscrewed it. I was going to take a picture of it and it fell out, hit the ground and busted the glass off. And I don't see how you can get the glass out of it. It doesn't unscrew or anything. It's almost like it was made with the plastic. So unfortunately, this is one of the projects I was going to fix up, but I think I'm out of luck because I need another, scutcheon or dial glass or whatever you want to call this thing right here.
Hi, Mark. Pat, was that glass glued in there? Can you break the glass out and put a piece of plexiglass in?
Yeah, that's
I
what I was
think
gonna say.
so.
Get some plexiglass.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be real glass. I mean,
Flat.
But it looks
Yeah.
like it looks like it was molded in, though.
It does. See, it's channeled. The glass goes in there. You can see it's glass, but it doesn't look like there's any way it comes apart. But unfortunately, I also broke it when I dropped it. So I could probably bust the glass out and replace it with plexiglass, but I was hoping that someone had maybe a part set around here. Oh, well, that's,
So
Can you
Pat,
route out the bottom and slip the plexiglass into the channel? Then you wouldn't notice where you'd routed it out, or you could, fill it.
yeah, I guess. But what's weird about it, it doesn't look like it ever came apart. I mean, there's no glue mark, there's no halves, there's no screw clips or anything. It just, I can't explain it, but if you look at it, it's like this glass just is stuck between these two channels. It looks like one solid piece of plastic.
yeah, so maybe you can carefully scribe the corners and crack it and then pull all the glass out and then push it back together and glue those corners you cracked.
Mhm.
if it is glass, how'd they get the glass and the plastic to go together?
I don't know.
They must,
That's-
they had to have some kind of glue on it. I mean,
Did they inject the plastic around the glass?
unless it's sealed with time or something like that. Yeah,
That's a good question. I don't know, but see, you can see here that the glass is inside the channel. There's a actual channel that the glass fits in, but it looks like one solid piece of plastic. I just don't quite get where it came apart.
Is there one side of it where it doesn't have a channel and it slides in from? Is there a channel on all four sides?
Well, three sides for sure. I would venture to say it's also channeled on this one side. The only reason why I can't tell you is because the glass hasn't been broken out. But yeah, it looks like it's channeled. Yeah, right there. If you can see it, it's channeled on all four sides. See, just not busted out as much on this
Does
side.
make you wonder how they got the glass in.
Yeah, that's weird. So it's probably going to be impossible to find another one of these because, if it was broken, it'd be like, wow, I don't know how I get it back together. But if I can just find another part set, maybe I can just rob this piece off of it and get her back together. But right now it's on hold and I'm probably not going to do much with it. So that's all I have.
Okay, a little ingenuity, you'll get it.
Yeah, I might give up and try to work on another set.
Yeah, think about it for a while, while you're working on something else. And
Yeah, right now I'm working on that other cathedral with all the notches on the top. So I know people said to fill it, but I was trying to cheat and see if I couldn't lift the dents back out. So right now I'm just trying with water and steaming it, and I'm not quite done. But maybe next Wednesday I'll have a better look at it.
So Mark, we got weather like you had today.
Yes, we did. It was nice today.
Let's see, what is it? I gotta put my glasses on here. It looks like it's about 84 right now.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That's unfair.
Well, it's
And
gone.
it's you know, it's 5, you know, it's 5:15 here, so it's still got another, well, it's that way, but it's still got another couple hours of light here, so
Yeah, well, it's down to 50 now here.
oh, that's pretty nice, though.
Well, yeah, it was well over 60 today.
Yeah, but for the next 6 days, we're gonna get rain.
There's still some snow melting though in the parking lots.
We had an inch of rain about two evenings ago. It just came down in just torrents in just about 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It just, you know, clobbered us.
Wow.
We've had a couple of those this year too.
What's it doing up in Olympia, Warren?
Sun shining, building farm fences,
Oh, good.
keep the cows in. Yeah,
Now here in Portland, everybody's out and about cleaning their roofs off, cleaning their yards out, and getting rid of all the branches and stuff that fell down during that snowstorm we had.
And mowing their yards.
No,
Yeah.
it was the ice storm that was the real bugger.
Yeah.
Man, it took a lot of stuff down.
Yeah, they're still cleaning up in some of the different towns, still cleaning up from that.
So how's everybody doing with their COVID shots? I got mine last Friday, the first one.
I
Can
got
tell
both
my hair?
Saturday.
Oh, Warren's got 2.
Yeah,
All right.
That's good. I'm a little bit younger for that yet. They haven't gotten to my level.
So, you know, they've told us not to be in large groups, you know, stay away from large groups. So my appointment was 8:45 Friday morning, last Friday morning at the convention center. So I'm outside in a big line trying to get into the parking structure, got into the parking structure's full. Okay, now you got to go up 2 flights of stairs or take the elevator, and all these people are there. So you're going up 2 flights of stairs and there's heavy breathing above you. And I just, what? I wanted to scream. Oh, I was not comfortable at all.
Bruce, when do you get a second shot?
Not yet. It's the 21st before I get my second shot. And it's
I
still,
was lucky.
go ahead.
I was lucky enough to get to the airport. So I was
Oh.
in my car the whole way and total separation.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that in the covered parking lot at the convention center. I mean, yeah, and they could have hit my wife at the same time as we went
Yeah.
through, but she was too young.
Well, now, if you would have acted feeble, she could have been your driver, and then they would have probably given her a shot at the same time.
Yeah, but
I've heard that was going on there anyway, so.
and my brother was at the, what is it? The Clark County Fairgrounds, where they drive through. And he had an appointment at 8:30 and she had an appointment at 3. But they both went in the same car and they went ahead and got them both at the same time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my understanding is if you're out in the open air where there's some movement of the air, it's pretty low risk. It's when this all first started, you know, there was they showed a documentary on Japanese TV. I think it's trying to think what they call it, NEC or something like that. But it's kind of like their PBS. And
NHK.
Yeah, NHK, right? And they showed they used lasers and different photography, and they showed these micro particles hovering in the air around people. But when and they had to simulate a closed room. But once they opened windows, you saw the stuff just disperse, and
Yeah.
even if it's light breeze. And so that's been my kind of thinking, that if you're in any kind of open air and there's some air movement, I think you're fairly safe, really.
Well, climbing the stairs, there was a slight breeze, but the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then you walk damn near a mile. Now they did change it to the display area, so at least you don't have to walk all over the damn convention center to get your shot. It's basically just above the parking structure, so you just go up 2 flights and nail it, rather than walking clear to the other end of the convention center to actually get your shot. But I had to ask, did you really poke me? I wasn't looking. You know, I couldn't feel a thing. Absolutely could not feel a thing. And even afterwards. Now, some people say the second shot you normally feel. I don't know. We'll find out. But it took a
Hey,
lot of, the website was such a mess. I mean, you know, I went through it so many times, re-entering, going through, check. And of course, each check has to put a new page, and it's just this laborious thing. And, you know, I spent a couple of days trying to get on. Finally, okay, pick a date. Okay, here's all these green dates and these taken dates or times. And you click on one, well, that's taken. Click on one, well, why is it green? You know, finally you go early enough in the morning and, got it.
Makes me appreciate OSSU. Their interface was really pretty straightforward.
Is
As
that
long
right?
as you get on at exactly 9:01 in the morning, because
Oh,
by 9:10, all the spaces are gone.
okay. So did you get your shot?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Only problem I had was they said it was at the red parking area at the airport. And I went to the airport, but the parking area actually isn't at the airport. It's an airport parking lot up by the Cascadia station, up by
Oh.
IKEA.
Oh, okay.
So I was late, but they gave it to me anyway.
Yeah.
So once you've had both shots, can you go back to the meetings?
It'd be nice.
So far, they're saying, well, keep wearing your masks. But at least I feel a little more comfortable. I guess even though you've had your shots, you can contact the virus, which isn't going to give you any bad effects, but you can still pass it on.
You know, it's the passing it on is the problem.
Yeah, right. And so, but it's a bugger, you know. I'm waiting to give my grandkids big hugs and play with them and such. And it's been an absolute bitch for a year.
You guys see that newscast tonight about Texas? Where they're gonna nobody's gonna wear masks. It's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be wide
opened the
open.
whole thing up.
It's
Oh,
like
oh.
nothing ever happened.
Actually, that strikes me as a pretty good experiment, because now you've got a bunch of people that are not protected at all. And, you know, compare it to Oregon, where I'm just amazed at how good people are about wearing masks and keeping distance. So if they don't have any problems, it means we're pretty silly. But if they all keel over, it means we were smart.
Well, they do a lot of smart things down there. like their power situation and water and
Yeah.
what have you.
Oh, boy.
And, you know, we're not going to be on the national grid because that requires certain things like, you know, insulation and stuff to protect from freezing and reliability. Hmm? What was that, Oz?
I say that implies you're going to cooperate, and the Texans aren't well noted for that. That's
No.
being from Texas, I can say that.
Ah, okay. So I was in the service at Fort Polk, Louisiana for 2 years. And for Christmas, I would come home and I'd go through Dallas, Fort Worth to fly home. And, you know, every year it was ice and snow. I don't know what the hell. Of course, way back when, they were part of the national grid then, and they were being good guys, but anyway.
So glad I don't live there anymore.
Oh, you did too, huh?
Yeah, I lived in Dallas for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I always
We
liked
heard you
the,
were coming through town. We ordered up black ice and snow. Hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Bruce?
Yeah.
I still sit on the board for the Vintage Radio and Phonograph Society based out of Dallas.
Was that right?
Never given up that post, and they still haul me out on an airplane every year to work the convention.
All right. Well, fun.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, well, when I was in the Army down there at Fort Polk, one of the other cooks was from Fort Worth. And of course, the minute we got a weekend off, well, shit, I had bought a car and off to Fort Worth we were, you know, and oh gosh, should I tell this story? Anyway.
Go ahead.
Skip was a good buddy. And anyway, we went over to this guy's place and a bunch of people, and we're going to go see 2001. And anyway, I got slipped a Mickey LSD. Anyway, from Fort Worth to Dallas, I'm driving into this big moon. You know, I just, whoa. We got into this big old theater and we got the first seats up front, you know, we're going to really get this 2001 movie, you know, just opened. And there's one of these guys that's, you know, directing seats and stuff. And anyway, I said, oh, what's that under the covers down there? Oh, it's a big old theater organ. You want to hear it? Well, sure. Anyway, this guy goes down there and, you know, this big old theater organ, he just plays off the hoof. You know, it's got bells and whistles and drums and you name it. I mean, it just carried on. And of course, here we were on LSD, and that's the only time I ever had it. But anyway, we had a pretty good time.
I started my Air Force career in San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
I was conceived in
3.5
San
years.
Antonio.
What?
Yeah, I was conceived in San Antonio.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's my experience there. Hey, Blake, last week you gave me the name of a hobby shop in Beaverton where I could get boxes, and I forgot the name. What is it? No, you forgot.
Yeah, give me a minute. Brian, Craft Warehouse.
Craft Warehouse.
Yeah.
Write that down. Thank you.
Here, no, I got a technical question. Can I ask that?
No, there's nobody here that can
I
handle it.
don't think
No,
there's
we
any.
don't want to get into that, Pat.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
No,
The
let's hear it.
barrister.
Ask it. Oh, okay. All right. I got this thermistor that I wanted to
Yeah.
work on the old Admiral Bakelite tube TV to put it in line so that it would power up slowly. It wouldn't shock the tubes and stuff. So Dick Howard gave me this, and I guess the question I have on this is, does it matter what side of the AC power coming in that I attach this to? I'm assuming I just hook this up in series with the power line, or the power cord, but does it matter which side that it goes into?
Left side.
That's correct.
Left side. Is that looking at the TV or is that from behind?
From behind.
It doesn't matter, Pat.
I was gonna say Bruce made that up.
Yeah.
Is now, Pat, was there one of those in there originally?
I don't think so, because it's just a 40, it's a 48 Admiral Bakelite TV. And my thought is I'd like to make it last as long as possible. And everyone says, well, why don't you just, hook it up to a Variac? And I'm thinking, well, every time I want to watch the TV, I have to go pull that thing out and plug it in there. And then I have to slowly turn the Variac. And I thought, well, so my question went out, and then Dick Howard gave me this, and I just wanted to make sure, because I asked him, but he didn't respond in a way I didn't quite understand it. So I just wanted to know what side of the power cord to put this on. And you guys are saying left or right, it doesn't matter?
Right. So what's the hot resistance?
You're talking to a uneducated person.
It doesn't say.
Read us the package.
Yeah, there's got to be a resistance value on there.
Oh, okay. It's a cold 120 ohms. It's called a glow bar thermistor, and it gives an RCA part number and a type. That's about all it says. It's just cold 20 ohms.
So when it heats up, it goes down to 0 ohms, right? Or goes down to low ohms?
That's what I understand, because it's supposed to be a
start to your filaments.
I'm sorry, what?
It goes down low, but of course there's no spec on it there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's a positive thermistor, not a negative one. So it's supposed to get less resistance as it heats up.
Right.
I guess I would wonder how fast it does that, because it's probably more for just mitigating the inrush, bang. But as far as if it will gradually bring your tubes on, I'd kind of think it might heat up real fast or something. I mean, it's unknown, really, I guess.
It's the inrush you're trying to get rid of. I think you can heat them up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that this probably heats up fairly quickly, so it doesn't come up real slowly. It's going to come up fairly quickly.
I would say.
Depends on your
just
definition of fairly.
Well,
Yeah.
don't you guys think it'll give a softer start than just hooking the tube
Yeah,
straight to the power line?
Oh,
It'll,
yeah.
it'll get rid of the inrush, the bump, the surge, for
Yeah.
sure. But as far as gradually bringing things up, it'll probably change real fast.
Oh, okay. Well, my thought is I'd like to make the tube TV last as long as possible, rather than, turn it on and have it shock, full power. I was hoping some kind of delay, and I don't know how much or how long, but I was, that's what I don't know. So that's what Dick said, just, here, this should work.
But your tube TV, is that an AC/DC TV?
I believe so.
So then it will lessen the shock to the filaments when they're cold, I guess, and because they won't like, hit them real hard, but it will still. That's my guess anyway, is that it's going to take that initial surge, but once it gets past that point, it'll start to heat up. Would be my guess anyway.
So you
It's
don't
not going
have
to hurt
a-
anything.
So you don't have an AC power transformer in this TV?
Well, this is the TV. I don't know much about.
I don't know if Mike's not on tonight.
Not.
I don't think so.
That probably is an AC/DC TV set.
Let's see who's on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that resistor might help.
Okay, I'll try
He
it.
lives in Hawaii. It's warm there, you can see.
Hey, Pat, those thermistors do get kind of hot too, so you want to be careful mounting it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my thought is I would stick it
Mike's
in a
on.
big metal box and have what, coming into it. So I don't have to put it inside the TV, but put it in a power box and then plug the TV into that.
I'd go ahead and put it in the
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, you can put it, you should be able to put it, it's not gonna get that hot, I don't think.
Okay. So the other possibility is once it's wired up, put the leads on the other side and see how much voltage comes through, how fast. In other words, power it up and, see if the delay is, 1 or 2, however long until it gets full power, right?
Yeah, try it out, measure it.
Okay, sounds good. I can do that.
Now,
Okay.
on your TV, is like the neutral side of if you have a polarized plug, is one side tied right to the chassis? And so would you want to avoid putting it on that grounded side? If it is indeed on the neutral side? Just a question, I don't know.
It doesn't matter much.
Yeah, I know it wouldn't matter too much, but it's just.
Okay, I will go ahead and, put together and see how it works out.
Sure thing. Is the TV working?
Yeah, it was one that I was able to buy from George. He had it at his estate sale and he said it worked. And so I took it home, plugged it in, and it worked fine. But like I say, I just want to show people when they come over, but I don't want to have to keep powering up with the Variac. I just wanted something more automatic just to, lessen the shock and keep it working longer. Cause it's not gonna get much usage, but I do plan to turn it on occasionally.
Sure.
Okay, thanks everyone. I'll try it out. Let you guys know.
I actually haven't worried too much about it in my old TVs, but that's a pretty good precaution to take.
Yeah, you could also just make yourself a light bulb tester that you just use for plugging it into when you power it up instead of a Variac and
Anything you wanna make?
I think you ought to use a Variac in the box and you can get yourself a box monkey. And then when you turn the TV on, instruct the monkey to turn it up slowly. You can borrow the one out of your trunk. I know you got a trunk monkey.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Oh, Pat, yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think? Do you think maybe we should have that mini radio sale, go out to the members and have it at the Grange, like on the 20th or the 27th of March? Do you think that be a possibility? We were going to do that, but then we kind of decided not to. What do you guys think of that? We wouldn't be very big. We're only looking for maybe a dozen people, a dozen tables we'd sell. That's about all the tables we could get in there safely.
I think we ought to try it in April, second Saturday in April.
Robbie, I was going to talk to you about that. My thought is that we should have the Zoom meeting on the second Saturday of April, but then have the actual sale and roar on a different weekend. And that thought was because we can still have a meeting and people who want to go to the meeting and talk, technical talks can do all that stuff. But the people who want to gather together, meet and buy and sell radios could be on a different weekend. So we don't put everything on the same Saturday.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. Somebody got a jet engine going? Sound like there was a jet engine going.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
the second Saturday be good for Zoom. And how about the third Saturday for the show? I mean, for the sale.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of working on some stuff. If you remember, the Jim McCracken estate sale was last Saturday, and then they're planning on having that again in April, mid-April. I think it's on the 17th of April. I was gonna talk to Kathy to see what she's gonna do with all the stuff that doesn't sell from April 17th. And what I'm hoping is that maybe she'll either move the sale of everything that's remaining of radios, because the 17th is an estate sale with everything, and whatever doesn't sell, I'm thinking maybe she'd either donate to the club or could show up after the 17th at Aurora, and because it's closer to her, and then sell that there, kind of like sell everything out because it didn't sell in the first 3 sales.
How did the sale Saturday go with the social distancing requirements? Was there a lot of people there? Was there a lot of people there?
No, they weren't socially distanced either in a lot of cases, but everybody masked up and there was plenty of hand sanitizer to go around.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel uncomfortable there, but I didn't stay very long either.
Yeah, there was, what do you think, Blake, about maybe 24 people buying stuff at the most?
I would guess there was between 25 and 30 people there, and they were split between the house and here. And the building was large enough that you didn't really have any problem. If you wanted to stay socially distanced, you could. But you're trying to socially distance at the same time you're trying to see radios. I thought it was one of the best orchestrated sales I've ever seen. They actually had staging tables in the center that they put your name on, and you could carry your radios over and drop them on a table. And I thought it was handled very well. I brought home a couple of treasures.
What do you think of the prices of the radios?
I was fine with them. I didn't dicker any, but I don't know how many of you know what one of these is.
Little transistors?
No, it is not. This is a tube radio. And you can tell it's very small. It's I think it's got 4 or 5 miniature tubes, sub-miniature tubes in it. It's an Emerson 747, and I would describe the condition as pristine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Even the cowhide leather case in it was nice.
That's a beautiful radio.
Yep.
So what batteries? What batteries does it take?
It takes a C cell and it takes a 45 volt with a 9 volt snap on the end of it. And I have a very convenient way for making myself a battery like that actually uses replaceable cells and fits handily in the space given. So,
all right, great.
Be a fun chat sometime on how to power these little radios. Just I know the first thing somebody said was, "Oh, you can string a whole bunch of 9 volts together." Well, there's room for 2 9 volts in the radio.
Yeah.
Not space charge radios, so you get a little more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt carry batteries in your pocket.
Yeah, I felt pretty safe at the sale. In my opinion, I thought the wood radios were priced a little high, and I think that the plastic radios were priced a little low on some of them. So, but of course, I collect a lot of plastic radios, and I bought quite a few because I thought the prices were decent.
So how many plastic radios do you have now, Pat?
Well, I don't know, but I walked away from that sale with 45.
Oh!
Holy cow!
Holy moly!
Are you broke now, Pat?
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking ways of making money. Hey, does anyone want to buy this wood radio here?
The one with the broken glass,
well,
right
thank
there.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think people are interested. But I spent some money. But you got to remember, a lot of the plastic sets there, they were asking $5 and $10, $15, $20 for them. So it wasn't bad if you take 20 radios at $10 a piece. It's not that bad.
So on the other end of it, this RCA was $140, and I bought it. I thought it was a pretty nice set for that cost, but that kind of covers the range for the building, I think.
And that radio there? Oh, that's wastebasket.
Basket radio.
Basket radio, yeah.
Yeah, that wastebasket was in my dorm room. It's held up really, really well over the years. College was a long time ago.
So it sounds like the sale there went pretty well then.
Mhm.
And there's gonna be another one in 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think she said April 17th.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot left, I assume.
Yeah, there was a lot. I don't know how many hundred of radios he had, but there was this huge outbuilding and there were shelves from basically about 4 feet off the ground to about 15 feet. And they were on 3 sides of the wall and they were filled. And then of course there were racks in the middle of the shed and they were all over.
I would guess there was north of 800 radios.
Wow. Sounds like Stan Griffith's Tektronix stash. They're still getting Stan's daughter is still getting rid of stuff there for Stan Griffiths. I don't know what all is left, but I'm sure there's still plenty.
Nope, I think John Livingston is here. Yep.
Cool. Well, if it's possible, maybe Robbie, maybe we could think about combining her leftover stuff from her estate sale and see about maybe getting that auctioned off at our April sale.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Yeah, we can do it. And do that all together, sure.
Okay, when do you have to have a commitment for the date in Aurora?
2 weeks ahead of time.
Okay, well, I'll have to contact Kathy and see if maybe with the leftover radios, if she wants to try to, bring them to the Aurora sale and auction or sell them there, because I'm hoping that she's going to let them go fairly reasonably, because if they don't sell within the first 3 sales, I'm assuming they're going to be pretty well picked over by then.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We can have the sailor auction. What do you want to do in April? Sure.
Wow, would there be room for 800 radios?
Well, we can have.
Well, Pat bought 45 of them.
Yeah.
Is she gonna wanna move all of them up to Aurora?
Don't know. I want to work it out with her and see what she's thinking. She may just say, no, I'll just get rid of them all on April 17th, or, maybe she'd like a table at our show. I don't know. I just want to see what she thinks and use that as a possibility. So I was thinking maybe we would have a small mini sale in March, kind of like on the 20th, 27th, with members only. Of course, if the public shows up, we have to let them in, but it would just be to see how well we could handle a sale during the current COVID conditions. And if we can handle it with just our members, maybe it would be a good experience to see how the April show would go. So I don't know what you guys think, if that's too many shows too quickly, or if we shouldn't bother with one in March, late March.
I think we should go ahead and have it in March.
You call it March Madness.
Yeah, then another one in April. That's fine. I mean, that's spacing it out a little bit.
Like I say, the only reason I thought maybe we should try it a mini sale in March is just to see how we can handle it. If it becomes too big or it's just too cumbersome, then we'll kind of get an idea for April. But if we don't have to, but if we go cold turkey in April and we're just totally inundated, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, let's just go for the March thing and to see how it turns out.
Okay, well, we'll kind of mention that at the March meeting and then see what people think, and via email, maybe we can vote and decide, because we're going to need probably 12 vendors or 12 people to buy tables, and if we can't even get that, then we'll probably not have it.
Oh, oh.
How'd you figure that out?
Didn't have any audio. Tube, I'll push it back in. It may be the tube.
So is anyone working on any projects?
I'm working on an alignment of my Electro Home Canadian radio, and as soon as I'm done with it, John's going to put the most obnoxious RCA I've ever seen up here, and we're going to do an alignment on it. When you pull 42 pages out of riders, you know you got quite a radio.
42 pages.
Wow. So what's the Canadian radio?
We'll do something easier.
Oh, it's a little 6-tube Electro Home. I think I showed it to you last time. It's all done.
Okay.
I'm waiting on a new a new rubber wheel to come in, tire for the phonograph. It's just got a little single play 78 on it, but unearthed a problem with the 6 SA7 in it, and I think it is the tube. But it's when it's playing, it plays very nicely, and the IF is all lined. It's 455. This is a radio from about 1946. I guess I could share with you. Here's the front of it.
Oh, that's a nice looking radio.
Yeah, it's actually kind of neat. It's got some All-American 5 tubes in it, but the set itself is a transformer set.
I'll be darned.
Here, travel this way.
Yeah, kind of neat. It's actually got the dial scale is in the cabinet, but they've got an auxiliary dial scale glued into the radio, so you don't have to look for marks or drill holes or anything else for the alignment. It's actually got one on it. But what's really neat about it is it's got 2 speakers, 2 fuel coil speakers.
So the fields are in series?
Yes, it has a single 6K6 that drives them. They're small speakers, but it's in a table apparatus with a drawer that has a phonograph in it. And I think it's got, these look like 6-inch fuel coil speakers, and the fields are in series.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it just amazes me when I go up and look at schematics and you look at radios and how many models all these companies made. I mean, hundreds of models. I mean, and you know, a lot of the differences are so small, you wonder why the hell they ever made that other model, you know?
Yeah.
I find that like each radio has its own personality. Like the person who designed it and then the people who did the soldering and things. Like after you've done like quite a few, you start to realize, wow, this one's personality is very different from the last one I worked on, you know?
There's some engineer up there just laughing like heck saying, I made that just as hard as I could to work on.
Well, I think a lot of the German radios, they did that.
Oh,
Not so much
Lord, yeah.
not so much electrically hard, but physically hard to work on.
There's some real truth to that, Blake, because about some engineers want to make things hard. You know, ICO, remember the ICO stereo kits? Their marketing really insisted that they had a loudness control in their little amplifiers, and the engineers were dead set against it. So they designed it so it would not work right. And as I understand, you have to modify them to make them actually work correctly and stuff like that. But they did that. The engineers did it on purpose, screwed them up.
Well, here's a look in one of my projects. This is a Saba. This is one of those radios that Bruce and everybody is describing. And unfortunately, when I'm done with this one, I've got 2 more. One's a Blaupunkt and one is a Telefunken coming right up behind it.
Complicated.
Yeah, these things are just a joy to work on.
They have depth to them.
Yeah,
It's German over-engineered, right?
it is. And they've got a personality, just like John was talking about. It's not a very nice one, though.
We always talked about Bosch about that. Bosch is always over-engineered, over-German engineered.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys that at the sale, I did splurge and I did buy this one really weird Australian radio. I think it's like white Plascon. It's called a Golden Healing Voice radio from Australia. I just thought that was kind of a real weird looking piece.
That's a unique looking radio.
Yeah, I've never seen one before, and I thought, wow, that was really weird. So I don't even know if it's 110 or 220 because the cord's been cut off.
Looks like it's got multiple bands also.
It ought to be 220. That's what they do there. So
Yeah, and they've been
Oh.
220. They've been 220 forever.
Oh, they have been? Okay. It's just that there's no cord in the back here. This is all there is.
No nameplate?
No, I couldn't see anything. Nothing on the bottom.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, well, actually, what it looks like maybe there's something inside.
Let's just hit it with 220 and see what it does.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I saw a label there.
So Pat, I do have step-up transformers here if you need any.
Oh, cool, cool. It just says a model number and serial number. That's it. It doesn't give any other specs. But I just thought it was kind of weird because it says Golden Healing Radio, whatever, or Golden Healing Voice, whatever that means.
Wow.
Marketing.
The marketing, yes.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
fine.
So what bands does it have?
I think
I
I
don't-
see the Glenn Miller bands on it.
really? I don't know. I don't read Australian, so I'm not sure what it says.
Oh, there's the Steve Miller band. I didn't know it was that new.
What do you mean Australian? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't really make out much on it. Can you guys see anything?
Well,
I'm not sure.
hold it still for a little bit.
So I don't-
just has call. It looks like there's call letters and also the territory. See, Victoria, Tasmania. See, north southwest territory. We get Western Australia. That's WA. So they just have the call signs. No frequencies.
That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
Interesting.
That I don't know what they were back then, but they have the 9. They run the 9 kilohertz spacing on the broadcast band nowadays. And here in Hawaii, when there's propagation, I hear all these beat notes in the broadcast band. You know, from the far off DX stations beating against the local stations and stuff.
Oh, sure. I'll be darned. Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, I've copied a few of the stations out of Australia sometimes in the early morning hours before it gets too light out.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
There's no frequencies on there, huh?
Yeah, I don't need no stinking frequencies.
That's right.
No meters, no frequencies, no.
Huh.
Maybe those are abbreviations for cities, towns, maybe. See, like HO could be the Tasmanian HO. I think it's Hobart, or I'm trying to remember the names of some of this.
Hobart.
Yeah, Hobart. Yeah. And then AD could be Adelaide.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yours up here.
Okay, thanks.
Interesting, Pat.
Well, folks, I'm going to be a little rude. I've got company and we've got a radio to work on. So please continue on and we'll talk to you in a week's time.
Catch you later, Blake.
See you, Blake.
Thanks.
Good evening,
Blake.
guys.
Hey, Pat, you gonna have a hard time finding a drawing for that radio?
Probably, I don't know. I don't know much about it. There's no cord. I don't know if I can plug it into 110. Probably not. It sounds
No,
like I'll need to go to Blake's house and put a step up transformer on to get it up to proper voltage. But, I don't even know how to take it apart.
Yeah, it's
Usually-
it's gonna be 240 or 220, and of course the hertz won't matter if I AC DC, but it's
Okay. Well, for now, it looks cool. I'll just put it on my shelf and look at it.
What'd you have to pay for it, Pat?
Well, that was the thing, like most of these radios here, I had them all staged out here because I was taking inventory, most of these were like, $5 and $10 each, but that one was expensive. That one was this one right here was $60. That was the most I paid for any radio by far.
Mhm.
But I saw that and I thought that was so unusual. I thought, why? I'd go ahead and get it just because I had never seen anything like that.
I've never seen anything like that either.
Probably never will again either, right? And
Well, I don't know how would you get it from Australia? You'd actually probably have to either ship it in or you travel down there and put it in your suitcase, I guess.
can't be very popular either, right? I mean, wow.
Yeah, but I like plastic sets, and I saw that and I go, oh, I think I got to have that.
Oh,
But this is just a kind of a sampling of the radios. Most of these were $5 and $10. Now this is a Sonora, but it says Night on top, and this is that Sonora with the push buttons, and those usually go for quite a bit of money. At least the Sonoras do, but they wanted 30 for that, so I thought that was a pretty good deal because I've never owned this radio before, and they tend to be like pretty expensive when you find them, but they had it marked at 30 and was sitting there, and I decided, well, I've never owned that one, and I thought, well, I better grab it before it sells at the next sale.
Yeah, you got a nice little collection of nice looking radios. Are they all
Yeah.
white or some of them different colors?
Well, these are all the white ones, I think, because I was trying to group them together. But what happened is I should have not staged them or taken them down, but I bought all sorts of different colored radios because there was quite a few of them. So, these are just more plastic clock radios and whatnot, whole variety of stuff. Like I said, I had them all staged, but I took them down. So you can see pink ones, yellow, green ones, red ones, black, brown, the whole thing. And there's some more up there. But I ended up starting to put them away.
You gonna buy some more the next time we have they have the show?
Yeah, I was hoping to get some more money and be able to come up there because, obviously Jim must have really liked collecting plastic radios because, like I say, that barn out there had shelves on the wall and from 4 to 12 feet off the ground, and they were just full of radios. And then, of course, they had stacks of shelves, and they're all full of radios. And that was just outside. There's also a house inside. And that's where they had all the wood radios and, the better stuff.
Was that down in Eugene?
Well, it's in a place called Crawfordsville, and it's next to Sweet Home in Oregon.
Okay.
So she's going to have another sale on April 17th, and that sale is supposed to include all the tubes, all the speakers, all the knobs, all the part sets, and of course the rest of the radios. What happened is she decided to have the estate sale and invite the club members only. So the club got to come in first for 2 different sales, and then the actual estate sale, which has everything else in the house, will be on April 17th. So I have to contact her to see what she's going to do after the sale about all the remaining things that don't sell.
Yeah, we can, if she doesn't sell all that stuff, we can take it down to the Aurora store, I mean, Legion Hall there and try to sell it there.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best for her because it's not, I mean, it's still a ways for her to go from Sweet Home to Aurora, but at least it's not, over in Oregon City.
Yeah, right.
So Pat, you're still out of work, so you have time to fix all these radios?
Yeah, I was, I had more time here available because I kind of got forced into retirement. So, at my age, it's a little difficult to get jobs. So I tried for about a year and wasn't able to do anything. So I ended up just deciding, well, I guess we'll just retire. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Chevron by me is hiring
what kind of jobs?
the gas station. It's a gas station attendant.
Oh, wow. I don't
Yeah,
know if I'm qualified.
they pay 13 an hour in Portland. Minimum
They do?
wage.
I think I'll wait for the package to go through, so I'll get $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Well, Pat, I'm gonna be leaving now, so I gotta bail out. I can have some company.
An IT guy's got to make more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more would be nice. I think 13 is probably, don't know how well I survive on $13 an hour.
Mhm. Well, you have to fix and sell a lot of radios.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Guys, I'm gonna bail out too. See everybody
Yeah.
next week.
All right. I
Okay.
think I'll do that also.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Dinner's
All right.
calling.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah,
Good night.
Franklin, thanks so much, Franklin, for
You're welcome.
doing it. And we'll
Yes.
see you next week.
Thanks,
Sounds good.
Franklin.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Okay. Thanks a lot again.
Bye, Robbie.
Okay, bye for now.